Let's get down to business for another classic by Disney. That's right, guys. Episode number 22 with Holly is Mulan, the 1998 film that was a big classic where it focuses on a woman in China who was basically told she can't fight because she's a woman, but she completely surprised everyone. This anime classic, which was released in 98, also focuses more on some comedic aspects, but also in war and battle. So here we are in Mulan. Again, we are going to be seeing some darkness, kidnapping, and yeah, Disney did another kidnapping thing again. Just want to throw that out there. Comment below how many times we had a classic that has to result in a kidnapping. I say close to 20.
Yeah, pretty much. It's hardly ever been a classic movie that actually involves kidnapping. It's basically a trend for Disney.
Hey, you two, not forgets. So it starts off with the Huns, the enemy, going towards Imperial China by breaching the Great Wall. And the Emperor orders general mobilization, which requires one man from each family to join the Imperial Chinese army. Now, despite the one-man rule, the family only had a daughter. One particular family, known as Mulan. An adventurous and active young woman, basically a tomboy, in case you guys kind of get the hint in this case. Which is not a problem since Holly's a tomboy herself, as well as my IRL sister.
Yeah, pretty much. And she wants to bring honor to her family by being sent to a matchmaker to demonstrate her fitness as a future wife. However, after multiple mishaps, the matchmaker deems Mulan as a disgrace to the family, which is quite very harsh.
Well, here's the reason why. Besides the mishaps, Mulan also put lettering on her arm, kind of like a cheat code. It's like when you remember those people that try to cheat on their test and they try to write the answers on their arms and everything, and they get caught.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the Emperor's order. Because there's no son, the father of the disabled army veteran decides to go. But Mulan, being the worried daughter she is, did not want him to go. When she saw her father take his sword, he kind of fell over a little bit in pain because he's crippled.
Yeah.
So she went there herself, after cutting her hair, taking her father's sword, and went and enlisted. However, Mulan's grandmother found out about her departure and prayed to the family's ancestors for Mulan's safety. And then we get to Mishu, the small red dragon,
who himself, ironically, is a disgraced former family guardian who is demoted to the role of awakening the spirits of the ancestors. The great ancestor decides that a powerful stone dragon guardian should guide Mulan. He sends Mushu to wake the guardian, but Mushu accidentally destroys the guardian's statue instead.
So Mishu decided to go himself because he didn't have any options. I guess that's one thing Mulan and Mishu had in common. So as Mulan went to training camp, she passes a man named Fa Ping, with Mishu providing encouragement and clumsy guidance. Under the command of Captain Li Shang, she and her fellow recruits, including three named Yao Ling and Xian Po, gradually become trained soldiers. And during this time, we get to see some awkwardness where Mulan decides to bathe in a river, and in order to keep herself from being exposed as a woman, she was careful not to reveal her chest. And as she escaped from some crazy people, she's like, I never want to see another naked man again. And then the equivalent of an entire soccer team ran right past her and went to the river.
Yeah, that was quite awkward, that scene, and ugh. But back to the topic. The Emperor's counselor, Chifu, threatens to dissuade the Emperor from allowing Shane's men to fight. Mushu then crafts a fake letter, clever, from Shane's father, General Li, ordering Shane to follow the main imperial army into the mountains. and the recruits set out and arrive at a burnt village, discovering that the Huns have massacred General Lee and his troops, sadly, which is very quite dark, especially when there's a doll like Mulan.
It is war. It is war. And something I learned, Mulan isn't exactly a physical strength fighter. She's more of a quirky, analytical type of fighter. It's basically using her brain rather than her muscle or brawn, basically.
Yeah, it's basically the brain versus brawn thing going on, but you can tell she still has some very good moves. She just only really uses it for for necessary purposes.
So the soldiers marched up to a mountain pass where the Huns, their enemy, ambushed them. So Mulan decided to use a Hulang Kuhushi cannon. I probably butchered that. She used her dragon basically to cause an avalanche. Even though the guy was like mad at her for like, how could you miss him? He was right there. How could you miss him?
Yeah, I mean, like some people would obviously know that any noise, even just a teeny little sneeze, would cause an avalanche.
Yeah, but you also have to think about how much very loose snow underneath the cause it. I've learned it from a TV show called Popping Mechanics for Kids, in case you guys can go back to those. Look it up. So unfortunately though, she was wounded, Mulan was. And so as the wound was being bandaged up, she was caught for being a woman. And as a result, was basically expelled. But spared her life, though. Shane did, that is. So, despite being left behind, she and a few other people, decided to go to the Forbidden City. Mulan did enter the city and warn Shang, but he didn't believe her. The Huns then captured the Emperor, seized the palace, resulting in Mulan making a clever plan. So Mulan, Yao Ling, and Qing Pu, the same three that we saw earlier, disguise themselves as very interesting women. Basically women that are expected to bear children.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's kind of ironic in a way, you know. It's the ironic part of, like, Mulan dressed up as a man for the war, and yet now the men are being a distraction by being dressed up as women. It's kind of ironic in a way. I just realized that now. But
yeah, and their chest actually had melons, which watermelons, by the way. And a little bit of a crude joke there, but but you could say they used their melons to whack them over the head.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. By talking them literally, if you guys think dirty-minded, you know why.
Yeah, let's continue on.
So anyway, Mulan ends up fighting the bad guy known as Shang Yu, and let's just say faster than Katy Perry firework. Baby, you're a firework. Mulan uses his fireworks and kaboom!
Yeah, that's right. So he pretty much got burned to crisp.
S'mores!
Anyway, the Emperor praises Mulan for her heroic acts, despite him discovering that she's a woman and vows to honor her, prompting everyone else to do the same, which now demonstrates how both sexes, like men and women, can fight. You know, it's like, can't always just be one gender. But Mulan declines his offer of a seat on the Royal Council, but she accepts the Emperor's crest and Shan Yu's sword as gifts.
Yeah, and that's basically a very good way of respect. And then Mulan goes back home. While presenting her gifts to her father, he ignores them and happy to have her back. And he was being enamored with Mulan. Shang, the general, also arrives. Love is in the air.
Yeah, and the seagull.
Yeah, and he sent their invitation to stay for dinner. And Mishu, well, the dragon, he was reinstated as a Fa family guardian as ancestors celebrate. So that's Mulan. This 98 classic definitely has some funny moments, but it also has some dark elements as well.
Yeah, it's pretty much sort of has that nice little balance, like, you know, Eddie Murphy as Mushu and that, which is a great choice, but at the same time you can tell there are some actual serious dark tones and even real life implications of real events and such.
Yeah, now you've got waited for this long, so let's get to the actual rating. Here's why I'm going to rate this one after I explain a few things. There is war, there is some dark elements in there, there is death, and there's a couple of very risque jokes in it. So if I had to rate it today, and Holly might disagree with me, I'm going to give it PG-13 for that. And there was a kidnapping too, so hey, comment below if you guys can name a number of times how many they've been kidnapped based on the classic films we've done. We've done over 20. There's probably close to 20 kidnappings at this point.
Yeah, pretty much, and I do agree with Aaron about the PG-13, because, you know, it's like, in a way, Mulan is actually based off, like, the actual wars that have actually happened to this world years ago, which is pretty scary, and the whole sexism thing with women not being able to fight and just being nurse maidens or whatever for the war, it's like, you know, that's very realistic. And what I like about the film is how it doesn't always exactly have to end with a female protagonist having a love interest until, well, but her and Shane do become a bit of a thing in this sequel, spoiler, but, you know, she proves herself worth, and, you know, you can tell when they push over the edge with the dark elements and you know, the dirty jokes, which can make us laugh, but sometimes make us, like, cringe a little bit, like, as in, like, like, imagine if we were Mulan, in a way, and that. But, overall, I think it's a nice balance of comedy and maturity for Mulan.
Yeah, and that's it, guys. If you guys enjoyed, like, share, and subscribe. Check the playlist, check out Holly's channel, and we will see you in the next video. God bless you all, don't forget it.
Be unique and be creative. Have a good day, everyone.